Welcome to Summer Tale. Hello, we're about to some stories. This and milk.
Oh, Nate.
Sigh of relief.
What?
Sigh of relief. Ashton, scoot the thing back over.
Okay, guys, we're back.
Before we get to the stories, I just want to mention something. Honestly, so I really love
Please, just...
me.
Oh, God.
With my brother and cousins around all the time, it wasn't easy to be good, but I tried.
Sorry, that was not really the story, that was just her talking about each other.
I tried really hard. When I'd make a mistake and be mean to one of them, I felt the elf staring at me. It would remember that moment. I'd picture it, waiting until I was in bed, then running.
Anything to say about that?
Toy rings. Rapist toy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Come on.
And tattling to Santa. No matter how much I screamed and sobbed to it, the elf wouldn't answer. It would just watch and
Oh,
wait for me to do something bad again. It knew me too well. On the 4th of July, I burned Marissa with a sparkler. I didn't do it on purpose. I mean, I meant to burn Marissa, but I didn't want to hurt her. I just wanted to see what would happen. Unfortunately, she got hurt pretty bad. Grandma had to take her to the hospital.
He's getting a huge bucket of coal.
And like the elf is coming back with a huge bucket of coal.
You
And
go.
like she sees it, and like her family sees it, like, how bad were you, child? How bad were you, child?
I burned someone.
Yeah, bars and like, and
Killed 50 people.
and the coal has eats some
But
pumpkins on it.
not before she got out the belt and whipped me until I couldn't sit down. After Marissa's mom came over to give me a
Anything.
It's fine.
Yeah, we heard noises outside.
We're the only lights here. Guys, we have this is the only light on. Like, we have only one light on. Like, if we went out of here, if we went out of the light, guess what? It would be pitch dark.
beating of her own, I was left watching Neil, my little brother. Grandma was still at the hospital. Neil watched TV while I tried to walk off the pain from the beatings. Before Dad died, that's what he'd tell me to do. Walk it off, you little faggot.
I would be smacking my parent. My parent would be 6 feet under in the ground.
It's all sad though.
I know. But, like, I would beat that parent up. I really would.
I walked a lot. When I got to the living room, the elf was watching me. It knew. Its wooden mouth was open, almost like it was screaming accusations. You're a bad kid. No one likes you. Santa thinks you're terrible. You'll be a bad man when you grow up.
Man! What a man! Man! Man?
What am I doing with my life watching this video?
I have no idea. What am I doing with my life?
Thing is that This video is so long. It's probably gonna be almost an hour long. You're sitting here pausing over and over again and talk.
Yeah.
So do you just want to skip ahead a little bit?
Didn't actually speak, of course, but it was obvious that's what it meant. It was the same stuff Grandma said to me, day in, day out, and somehow I always made sure to live up to it. Try as I might, I couldn't be good. At the age of 8, I was already certain I was rotten to the core. Months went by, and my best efforts yielded punishment. If I wasn't accidentally knocking over a vase in the kitchen, I was tracking mud into the hallway. It inevitably ended with my pants around my ankles and my grandfather's old leather belt smashing into me as I tried not to scream. Screaming would only make the beatings last longer. When it was finally over and I inched my jeans and underwear back up, I told myself I'd be better, that I'd be a good kid from here on out. And for a while, for the entire month of November and into December, I was. Grandma, Neil, and I went to get our Christmas tree on December 4th. We came home and decorated it while cookies baked in...
Why? You don't have to get that much detail. Why?
I can just see it now. I can just see it now. It's like freaking SpongeBob underwear.
Wait, you're imagining the kid's butt.
No.
You pervert.
No! Don't get that out of context.
I remember Grandma lifting me with her strong, solid arms so that I could put the star on top. The star had been her daughter's, my mother's.
Oh.
It was one of the only things left that had belonged to her.
Tilted.
On December 5th, after Neil and I had gotten home from school, we were playing around. Like all brothers, we played rough. With him being 6 and me being 8, I was quite a bit bigger. When we were wrestling and I was spinning him by his arm, I made a mistake. I let him...
That is a really clumsy child.
What
What if it wasn't
him go and sent him right into the Christmas tree. It fell onto the hardwood floor. Ornaments broke. Lights went out. The star shattered. In an instant, I was panicking. I knew Neil would tell Grandma. I knew the elf in the other room would learn what I'd done. I'd been good for so long that I started hoping I might get Christmas presents. After this, though, after breaking the one thing Grandma had left after her daughter was killed by Dad, I'd be doomed. Grandma would beat me senseless. The elf would tell Santa. I'd get nothing, and Neil would taunt me with his presents. Something sparked inside me. What if the elf hadn't seen what happened? What if Neil didn't tell Grandma? I was very busy for about an hour. By the time I was done, Grandma would be back from work any minute. I knew I might not fool her, but I'd fool the elf. That was most important. It was he who talked to Santa, not Grandma. I wore Neil's face into the living room and looked.
What?
You wore your own brother's face?
Set the elf on the shelf. He stared back with his black, judgmental eyes. "I'm sorry I knocked over the tree and broke the ornament," I said, doing my best impression of Neil's high voice. I thought about his body cooling on the kitchen floor and his blood making a mess everywhere. Maybe Grandma would believe he fell on a knife if I cried hard enough. Under the mask of my brother's skin, I peered at the elf through the eye holes. The skin tasted awful, but I had to breathe through my mouth because the nose holes didn't line up right. I wondered if the elf believed me. "I'm sorry, elf," I squeaked again. I heard the garage door rising and a...
You wearing your own brother's face.
What? Not my face! My face is too ugly for this. Ow!
Wow. This is, ugh. Ew. 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 Ew.
Take off what? Look at that. Okay, so.
A car pulling inside. Grandma was home. I felt a new rush of panic. I glared through the cold mask at the arbiter of my Christmas fortune. The door connecting the garage to the kitchen opened, and I heard my grandmother's shrill, hysterical shriek. "Elf," I whispered, as tears mixed with my brother's blood and cascaded down my face. The elf on the shelf turned its head 360 degrees as its mouth opened and closed. When it faced me again, it spoke. "You've been very bad, Neil." I fell to my knees in fervid, incomprehensible relief. Some part of me heard Grandma still screaming, somehow even louder when she came into the room and saw me. Again, the elf spoke. "You've been terrible, Neil." Grandma whirled around and looked at the elf, but then shook her head back and forth like she was trying to get a hold of herself. I stood up. Not wanting to ruin the illusion for the elf, I held the mask to my face until I left the room and sat down in the kitchen. Grandma didn't try to hit me. She didn't touch me at all. I piled the skin back on Neil's head and told Grandma he fell. She didn't answer. It didn't matter, though. 20 days later, in my own warm room at the hospital, I got some very nice Christmas presents. The doctors and nurses were so kind and gentle with me. One even hugged me after I'd opened my gifts. The gifts weren't exactly what I'd hoped for, but they were better than nothing. So much better. I giggled to myself as we hugged. When the nurse asked what I was laughing at, I lied and told her I remembered a funny joke. She smiled, and I was surprised to see a tear running down her cheek. I didn't think much of it, though. All that mattered was I'd won. I'd finally fooled the elf on the shelf. Mommy, Jingles is gone! The fuck? What day is it? I could have sworn...
Hold on. I need to know!
It was my day off, but that can't be right because Ava is at the edge of my bed shaking my shoulder. And this little shit knows how badly I need my sleep on my days off. It's still dark out. This better be good. "What, Ava?" I groan, rolling away from her grabby little hands. "Jingles is gone!" she repeats in that insufferable tone only 6-year-olds can pull off.
Yes!
Who the
God!
fuck is
You
Jingles?
glitter on your face.
Who's Jingles? I asked my pillow, editing for language. Our elf! Ava stamps her foot. When I don't turn back to her, she scurries over to the other side of the bed so she can thrust her face in front of mine. "He told me, he said he'd have a special present for me today, but now I can't find him anywhere." Okay, let's get one thing straight here. I don't do that elf on the shelf bullshit. It's a waste of time. It basically bribes your stupid kids into behaving for a month, and it's just a glorified way for Facebook parents to take ridiculous photos and share for God knows what reason. Do you have any idea how many pictures I've seen on my timeline where a full-grown adult, someone I smoked weed with in college, has dropped Hershey's Kisses into a toilet and posed that idiotic elf over the bowl? Too many fucking times. So, you understand my confusion. "Where did you get an elf, Ava?" I asked, groping for my phone on the nightstand. 4:02 a.m. I am on the brink of a very serious timeout. "He came through my window last night." She sticks her lower lip out in a pout that sort of makes me want to slap it off her. I wouldn't do that, of course. I don't hit my kid. But if you have kids and you act like you've never thought about it, you're a dirty liar. "Why was your window open?" Sitting up, rubbing the sleep out of my eyes. yes, a timeout is on the horizon for sure. The heating bill is going to be through the roof. Because he was tapping, Ava insists. I had to let him in. It's cold outside. Fuck. Now I'm going to have to install those stupid childproof window lock things. You're not supposed to be opening your window, Ava, or telling lies. It's not a lie. I couldn't leave Jingles outside. My daughter's wide brown eyes are filling with tears now. Great. Meltdown mode. He was tapping, and he was cold, and he said he'd give me a present, and now he's gone. I press my hands to my face. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep and short on patience. We don't have an elf, Ava, and Mommy needs her rest. Please go back to bed. Her lip is quivering now. What if, she says tearfully, so something happened to Jingles? Something bad? Wonderful. I'm going to have to go buy a fucking elf now. I draw the line at the Hershey Kiss shits, though. Maybe he's just taking a vacation. I have to slow this train wreck before it gets out of control. I get out of bed and stretch. Time to lie to my kid, just like the rest of those losers on Facebook. Where did Jingles say he would meet you? At the Christmas tree, she sniffles. All right, come on, let's go check. If I can stall for time, maybe I can go get one this afternoon and put a stop to the tantrum. I know Ava. She's not going to let this go. Kid's got an insane imagination and is as stubborn as I am. I take her by the hand and she leads me scampering to the living room. I'm going through all the different bullshit scenarios I can make up for why her new friend won't be there when I see it. The little body nestled in the branches of our Christmas tree, illuminated by twinkling lights. One leg is crossed over the other in a very relaxed pose, almost as if he's kicking back. His outfit is white, not red like the ones I've seen on Facebook. His face is awful. He's sitting next to a Monster High doll, a blank-eyed goth Barbie that I recognize as Sarah Screams, the doll that Ava put at the top of her Christmas list. I was going to buy it for her, but instead it's posed in our tree next to this repulsive little thing. Just before Ava snatches the Sarah Screams doll, I notice that the elf, Jingles, has his hand up Sarah's skirt. Sarah Screams! Ava squeals, hugging the doll tight to her chest. What the fuck? I feel like the thing is staring at me. I don't really want to touch it. It seems like if I touch it, my skin might burn. But I move to take it out of the tree, and my daughter shrieks, Mommy, no! I jump, almost like the words came from Jingles instead of Ava. What? I demand. It feels like the air has been sucked out of the room. If you touch an elf, they lose their magic, she insists. Where has she been learning this shit? More importantly, where did Jingles come from? And the doll? Ava, I say, keeping one eye on the elf, where did you get these things? She looks at me over the top of her new toy. I told you, Jingles brought it. He came through the window. Did you take it from a store? I look around for discarded toy packaging and don't see any of it. Did someone give it to you? Be honest with me. Mom, Mia! Ava whines. She seems frustrated. Jingles gave it to me. I keep telling you and telling you. You're telling lies again, I say. My daughter looks on the verge of tears, clutching Sarah Screams tight. I'm not, Mommy. I can't tell lies because if I do, Santa won't bring me presents and Jingles might leave. I consider taking the doll from her, but this will surely cause a tantrum. Besides, can I really believe that my 6-year-old daughter shoplifted it without me finding out? But what's the alternative? That the elf came through her window like she said?
Wait, what?
Go back.
Oh, sorry, guys. Ah! Yeah. That's
You
fun.
always take care of your family. Next time you're at Walmart, let them
Ugh.
bring me presents and Jingles might leave. I considered taking the doll from her, but this will surely cause a tantrum. Besides, can I really believe that my 6-year-old daughter shoplifted it without me finding out? But what's the alternative? That the elf came through her window like she said? From his pose in the tree, Jingles smirks at me. Okay. I usher Ava away from the Christmas tree. Take Sarah screams and go back to bed. I need to get some sleep, and so does Jingles. She skips off to her bedroom, happy as a clam. When I'm sure she's in bed, hearing the door click shut behind her, I pick Jingles up by the hat with the very tips of my fingers, holding it far away from me like something that stinks. I carry the elf to the garbage and dump him in the trash can. Jingles is going on a leave of absence. If Ava wants an elf on the shelf, fine, but not this one. I'll get one from Target, but mostly I'm just hoping she'll forget the whole thing. At least there's only 2 more days until Christmas. I'm cleaning up the dinner table when Ava stomps into the dining room. Her new favorite toy is tucked under one arm. She's scowling at me. Mommy, where's Jingles? Shit. Is he not in the tree? Stalling for time as I scoop uneaten macaroni and cheese down the garbage disposal. No! Where is he? I'm rinsing the plates and feeling oddly guilty as my daughter waits for an answer. He disappeared this morning, I offer in a voice that's so cheerful it kind of makes me sick. Maybe he's off someplace else again. Getting you another present? The Target shopping list is growing steadily. No, you're telling lies, Mommy. Why am I letting my kid make me feel like shit? I'm the parent here, not her. I turn from the sink and face Ava. Honey, Jingles isn't our elf, okay? I don't know where he came from, but he doesn't belong here. I bet Santa will send another elf really soon. There's still a few days before Christmas. That's enough time for the North Pole to find someone new. I don't like the way Ava is looking at me. Jingles isn't going to be very happy, she says mysteriously and leaves. Fuck Jingles. Mommy needs a glass of Chardonnay. For the second day in a row, I wake up to the sound of my daughter's voice. Look, Mommy! She cries right in my fucking ear, jerking me out of a sound sleep. Jingles came back again! I have no idea what she's talking about. For a second, I can't remember what the fuck a Jingles is. But as I reach for my phone to see what ungodly hour of the morning it is, I freeze. Sitting next to my iPhone is that fucking thing. The elf, all in white. The screen of my phone is utterly destroyed, a shattered mess. Jingles is holding a hammer. He's smirking. Ava is in her room crying. I gave her bottom a good whack after finding out she'd broken my phone to get back at me for throwing Jingles away. She insists it wasn't her, but if the little shit is stealing, because that's what this has to be. She had to have stolen the elf and the doll when I got rid of her new friend. She broke my phone. I should have seen this coming, I guess. She's been whining about how all the other kids in class have elf on the shelf, and I ignored it. After her dad left, she started acting out, but it was always in little ways, not eating her dinner or trying to sneak into my bed at night. Sarah Screams is on the high shelf in the hall closet, and Jingles is in the dumpster behind Target. I did the rest of my Christmas shopping, but I went fairly light on the presents, and like hell, I was going to get another elf. I'm drinking wine and distracting myself with Christmas movies. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to afford another phone. The holiday has my savings pretty much wiped out. Maybe after Christmas, I can get a burner or something to hold me over until I'm eligible for an upgrade. Fucking Elf on the Shelf. For a moment, I think I hear tapping on the window, but it's probably just the wine, or the wind. Right? It's Christmas Eve. Things around the house have been tense. Ava isn't talking to me much, but I gave her back her doll, so that brightened her up a little. We're setting up the milk and cookies for Santa. I'm arranging them near the tree when Ava asks quietly, "Can I get the carrots for Rudolph?" I glance at her and my heart aches. Poor kid. She looks so pathetic. It's her first Christmas without her dad, so I guess I've been pretty hard on her. It's just that times are tough, and I guess I don't know how to handle myself. The holidays are stressful for everyone, and I
I was being a douchebag.
Yeah, sweetheart, I tell her, trying to use a nicer tone than I have been the past few days. Rudolph's gonna need carrots to make his nose glow so bright. This makes her giggle a little, and I feel better. She runs to the fridge and takes a little longer than I expect her to, but before I go in to check on her, she runs back into the living room with the carrots. When it's all done, there's a plate of cookies. I'll need to take a bite out of each one. A cold glass of milk. I'll have to drink that too. And a small bowl of baby carrots. Good luck on me imitating reindeer teeth marks. I put Ava to bed and go to the garage to get the presents out of my trunk where they've been hidden. While I'm stacking the wrapped gifts in my arms, something behind me skitters across the floor of the garage. I nearly drop them and freeze in place. Fucking mice. I've been putting out rat poison for them, but sounds like they're back. I take the presents inside and arrange them neatly under the tree. I take the requisite bite of each cookie and finish one completely. Screw it, it's Christmas. A nibble from the carrot, and fuck is my mouth dry. I drain the glass of milk in a few quick swallows. It tastes funny, like maybe it's about to turn, but I'm still thirsty, so I go to the fridge and pour a few more glasses. When I go back to the living room, I give the place a once-over to make sure it looks like Santa has been here. That's when I spot the note under the cookie plate. I'd somehow missed it before. Ava must have left a message for Santa. What a sweetheart. I pull out the note, and before I can read it, I see Jingles perched in the Christmas tree, smirking at me. What the hell? His white outfit is just as pristine as the first time I saw him, but he should be soaked in garbage juice by now. Not to mention, there's no way he can be there. There's no way. My gut rolls. I suddenly feel so sick. I look at the paper in my hand, a scrolling child's handwriting in pink crayon.
I'm sorry, Mommy. Jingles is mad at you and says this is what I have to do. He says he will take me to the North Pole and I will meet Santa and get lots of presents. I want presents and you are a mean Mommy. Jingles is nice. He tells me things at night, and last night he told me to put the funny powder in your milk. I want to meet Santa. I'm sorry. I'll miss you, Mommy. You are not always mean. Ava.
I scramble to the kitchen, to the sink, forcing my fingers down my throat. My first instinct is to call 911, but I don't have a phone. Ava broke it. Jingles broke it. Some of the milk comes out in a lukewarm rush, but not all of it. Not enough. My stomach is still rolling, and it's starting to get dark in here. I stumble back into the living room, trying to make it to Ava's room. I fall to my knees in front of the Christmas tree and vomit again on the carpet. There's blood in it this time. Jingles is on the floor now, in front of the tree next to the presents, and the last thing I see as I lose consciousness is the 3 boxes of rat poison he's sitting on. And from somewhere behind me, I hear,
"Can we go to the North Pole now, Jingles? I can't wait to meet Santa."
Last year, on Boxing Day, I found a really cool ornament in the clearance box. It had a built-in camera to record a unique perspective on your holiday celebrations. I grabbed the last one from the store's dusty shelf and brought it home for less than 10.
Okay, guys, we're just end it there. I'm not gonna listen to the third story because it'll take about 10 minutes.
No!
I don't have that much time,
I
Nate.
want to watch it!
No.
In the video. But I'll still watch it though.
No.